Yo, what's going on, everyone? My name is Cody Jones, and today I'm really excited to fucking discuss this new movie review. But before we get into that, I want you guys to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you can be notified of new episodes, so you can be notified of new videos. I'm fucking up already. um, and also be sure to follow me on Spotify so you can be notified of new podcast episodes. And honestly, man, the movie I'm gonna be doing a review for, I'm really fucking hyped to even talk about it because I just got done watching it yesterday. And by the time that you guys see this, it's probably gonna be fucking months ahead. Well, maybe not months, but it's probably gonna be a month ahead, because it's like today's the 18th of May, so it's like there's a whole shit ton of videos all scheduled out, because I'm keeping the whole like one or two episodes a week kind of thing. It's like I'm just spreading it all out. That way, like, I got nothing to worry about for the upcoming weeks. Also, I'm gonna be very occupied on the 19th, so if I seem sluggish or if there's no video at all, then forgive me. But today's movie review, I'm going to be discussing and giving a review and rate for Bullet Train. And if you don't know what Bullet Train is, let me break it down for you real quick. So, honestly, man, let's just get it cracking. Bullet Train is a 2022 action comedy, dark comedy, directed by David Leitch. I'm not very familiar with. Like, when I saw it, I actually thought that it was directed by Guy Ritchie. The guy that fucking directed and written the movies for The Gentleman. I think he did another one for um, a bunch of other like hilarious, somewhat British movies. I can't think of any right now. I'm like tired as a motherfucker right now. but but yeah, the film follows a contractor sent to steal a case of money from a bullet train. And basically a bullet train is like one of those super fucking fast ass trains that are in Japan. It's like this shit is ridiculously fast, like faster than the motherfucker. Um, yeah, sent to steal a money from a bullet train and chaos ensues. The film has a giant cast with Brad Pitt in the lead and a ton of familiar faces, including Joey King. I know who the dude is. He's like one of my favorite actors. Hiroyuki Sanada. I think he's the guy um, that plays Scorpion in the new Mortal Kombat movies. And honestly, man, I'm a huge fan for Hiroyuki Sanada. He's like one of my favorite actors. Like, I've been a fan of him since Last Samurai with Tom Cruise. And the fabulous Michael Shannon, who played, spoiler, who played the antagonist. There are plenty of cameos too. Don't give this crazy film do give this crazy film a watch, but be prepared for violence. The storytelling is non-linear, and honestly, I'm not really gonna be explaining the whole fucking movie and shit. But that pretty much sums up most of it. So it's like everyone is after this one suitcase full of money, and not only is Brad Pitt like trying to be on the pacifistic side of his life because throughout the whole movie he's just very pacifistic, very trying to keep the peace and all that shit because I guess he's just getting tired of the continuous violence and shit. So he ends up he talks about seeing a therapist and all that shit, and it makes his character all the more hilarious because the Brad Pitt I'm familiar with is like the badass in Troy or in fucking I think it was called Lost Island or some shit. or the badass stunt double in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's like that's the Brad Pitt that I know about, the fucking badass blonde. But it's like he's very pacifistic, very peaceful, trying to like resolve problems with words and shit, and nothing goes as planned. And so not only is he trying to get this suitcase, but there are other people in charge and who are also after the suitcase. One of the main characters who were like British twins are in charge of like watching over the antagonist's son and to keep him alive, and to also bring the suitcase full of money. And it also looked like it had like a few gold bricks in it, so it's like there was a shit ton of worth in this suitcase. And not only that, there was also another character who the movie starts with, who is getting revenge on Michael Shannon's character, who is called the White Death, which is a Russian samurai. You know, it's really badass. I think that he played this character really, really dope, and I was really digging it. You know, but the thing is, he's getting revenge because his son was pushed off a building, which landed onto Brad Pitt's car, because he believes that death follows him everywhere and that he has the utmost shittiest luck ever. And it really shows it a lot that he just has terrible luck. And that a lot of people do get hurt around him, even when it's not intentional. It's like, again, it's just one of those hilarious dark humors, you know. I fucking love this movie. And so the guy who's getting revenge for his son being pushed off a building, he gets on this bullet train, only to find out that there's another person who is after the suitcase and after the White Death. So everyone is after the suitcase. Everyone is trying to make an attempt to assassinate Michael Shannon's character, and everyone has their own motives. So the plot is very understandable in the beginning. But it's like what makes this movie so genuinely perfect in its own way is because it is perfectly mixed with like extreme violence and a shit ton of hilarity. And Brad Pitt's character, he's like, again, one of the funniest motherfuckers in this movie. And almost everything that comes out of his mouth is very Deadpool like, you know, it's like just every cuss word that flies out his mouth and shit. And his character is just portrayed in the best way, man. Like, I loved his character and it was hilarious. So, I'm not gonna say very much, but everything about it was perfectly done right. The action was amazing. The comical timing was fucking funny as shit. And one of the British twins, like he really, like, he really lives everything by the code that he got from uh, Thomas the train, tank train, gas train. I can't remember what the fuck he was called. It was Thomas the something. But I can't remember. I mean, some of y'all probably gonna be correcting me and shit, but that's okay, you know. But anyways, he fucking lives everything, and he does not shut up about Thomas the Tank Train, and he even judges people by comparing them to cartoon characters. And it's like, for some reason, it just goes perfectly, and it matches the characters. You know, so it's like it makes all the more funny shit about it. It makes it all the more funny with his character. And honestly, man, this movie, it was one of the funniest shit I've seen in a very long time, let alone one of the funniest Brad Pitt movies I've seen. And with everything going out in the storyline with Hiroyuki Sanada getting revenge for the death of his family, which was done by Michael Shannon's character, it's like his motive makes sense. Brad Pitt's character's motive makes sense. One's after revenge, one's just a snatch and grabber. The other one is being hired by the White Death, and another one is getting revenge as well, but ends up in the shittiest position in the whole movie. And not only that, there's a fucking snake on the train. Bad Bunny's character appears in it for a short cameo, which his character was badass. He was like a fucking Mexican assassin and shit. And Zazie Beetz, who fucking plays a cameo by poisoning people with snake venom. So it's like all of these amazing characters are just making the movie more interesting. But I do want to nitpick something about the movie. But not really complain about it, but just really like have one thing that didn't make sense is the way that they explained Michael Shannon's motive at the end of the movie in the fight scene. It's like his motives were just all over the place. His reasons were just scrambled all around. And it's like his daughter, like her revenge made a whole lot of sense. Like it was explained, and the way that she intended to have him killed was completely like understandable by the way that she was explaining it. But with Michael Shannon's character, it's like his reasons were just all scrambled over the place like a fucking jigsaw puzzle. So it's like there were a few times I had to rewind the movie just to get an understanding of what the fuck he was trying to say and understand his reasoning. But aside from all that, the movie was spectacular. It was hilarious. It was action-packed as promised. And the storyline was just extremely dope. Like, very Pulp Fiction. Like, you know, it's like everyone has their own stories and their own missions, and everything just leads up from that one single case at that one single spot in Kyoto. So it's like everything with the movie is just like connecting a whole bunch of dots into one whole centerpiece. And it was amazingly done. I love that. I love it when people do that in movies because it really makes everyone's characters and their stories and their motives like all the more fascinating. It's like you fucking got a contractor, you got a father who lost his son, you got two professional hitmen, you got one jealous daughter, you got a fucking samurai getting revenge and shit, and all of it leads up to one suitcase issue uh, in one setting, which is everything takes place in the bullet train. And everything throughout the whole movie just goes from the beginning when they enter and the beginning when they leave. And it's just one interesting and amazing like storyline and one amazing setting. And I also love how the movie was done in like one of those classic whodunit movies. You know, it's like everyone's just trying to find out who the killer is and all that shit. Who's the one that poisoned that person? Who's the one that stole the suitcase? You know, it's like it's one of those amazing whodunit films, but in a more modernized style of it, and it was perfected. I love that idea that I love the way that they had that idea. You know, it was amazing. And honestly, man, let's just get into the rating of this movie. What I would say for Bullet Train is that it was amazing beginning to end. I loved it. I fucking laughed my ass off crying. I enjoyed every fucking action-packed moment, and everyone's character was just very amusing to watch. And some of them were even very like touching and sentimental that it made the characters all the more enjoyable. You know, it's like the twins are not really blood twins. Like one's a fucking white guy and one's a black guy, but they lived in the same orphanage and they're twins. It's like their brotherhood. It's very sentimental, but at the same time, it's enjoyable because of the way that they interact. And fucking Brad Pitt's character with his agent is like they continue to go back and forth a bit here and there in the movie, and it's hilarious to fucking hear them talk back and forth, even though it's like over the phone. But other than that, man, what I would say for Bullet Train is that this movie was amazing. Everything about it was done perfectly. You know, everything was just amazement from beginning to end. And honestly, what I would rate Bullet Train, I'd give this shit a fucking 10 out of 10. And honestly, I guess it's because I'm just a very easy to please movie watcher, you know? It's like there might be some movies that I don't really care for, some movies that I'm not even gonna fucking discuss. Like, I saw a movie last night called Everything Everywhere All at Once, I think it's called. I saw this movie and it was very fascinating. I liked it. The storyline was really intriguing, but it's like everything was just fucking weird and bizarre and awesome and funny, and then it just went back to weird. And then it's like the end of the storyline, it just went to a whole different direction of like trying to come up with a way to end the movie, you know? I mean, it was enjoyable nonetheless. And um, I like the actress that played Crouching Tiger, I think her name is. I think the movie, I think it's called Crouching Tiger. I can't remember. I've never seen the movie, but I know what it is. But I love the actress, you know. She's really cool. She's really amazing to watch. I love her movies and everything. But this one movie, it was just, you know, I wasn't really feeling it all that much. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about Bullet Train. So I'm going to give this movie a 10 out of 10. I loved every moment of it. It was hilarious. It was amazing. Everything about this movie was just spectacular. You know, I loved it. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me know if you've seen this movie, and also let me know what you think of it, and give me your guys' thoughts and opinions on it, you know? It's like, I would love to hear what you guys have to say about Bullet Train. If you've seen it, what you think, what you would rate it, you know? It's like, I love interacting with people in the comments, you know? It's very enjoyable to just reply back to people in the comment section, you know? So just go ahead and let me know what you think, or just say hi, you know? And I'll see you guys next video. I'm out. Peace.